Morning, y'all. Welcome. We appreciate y'all coming to the meeting this morning. I'd like to call this meeting of the Logan County Commissioners to order. Today is August 31st, 2022, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thanks again. Let's see, we have two citizens desiring to be heard this morning. Let's see, Mr. Otis Slauson on road conditions and Mr. Randy Ranson on road repairs. Each of you get
Mr. Slauson is not here.
Mr. Slauson is not here. Okay. All right, Mr. Ranson, you get 2 minutes. Help yourself.
I'm new to all this, so I just wanted to come in and I've made a few phone calls asking for road repairs and wonder what I need to do next to hopefully push that along. The buses no longer come down our road anymore. My kids have to meet down about 3/4 of a mile from our house. I've had to take off work every day early to pick them up from school and get the bus. So all I ask from you guys is can we get Charter Oak fixed? It's been rough since May between Sooner and Coltrane. I've spent $3,600 on car repairs myself. And I don't blame the buses for not coming down there. It would tear up a bus. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, item 4, consideration and possible action on minutes of August 15th, 2022.
Move to approve.
I'll second Logan's motion. I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. You are, ma'am. Thank you very much. All right, item 5, consideration and possible action on replat of lots 6, 7, 8, 16, and 17 and common area A of the landing at Waterloo. Brandon, whereabouts do you live on the
Change your room.
between
Sorry. Change your room.
Yeah.
between Sooner and Charter Oak? Okay.
Don't get me started.
I'm trying to.
It's been a nightmare. We lost one business.
I think that he's your commissioner, but I'm gonna have to look on the map to find out. We just read some of that stuff.
Yeah, because they won't allow the,
Yeah, that's
the
drainage.
But we've got some minor stuff we're working on a contract
It's in
with.
between Sooner and.
That was a big loss.
Somewhere.
Because Sooner runs north-south, Charter Oak runs.
Yeah, all we did was move.
So this says Charter Oak Place on here.
That is Charter Oak
Road, okay, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
We moved this road here
Thank you, sir.
to allow more access, or frontage on their lots, so that when ODOT takes over, they don't have to tear up their parking lots.
Well, the language is in there about the roads is yours.
What I was looking for.
So how far do you have to move
There's
there?
a way to, I had to move it 25 feet
That
or
was
something.
timer.
Be it hereby
Not
resolved
the final.
by the Logan County Board of Commissioners that the final plat of the
Go to the
landing
judge's
of Waterloo and replat of lots 6, 7,
If your phone goes up
8,
here,
16, 17, and
Because
common
you're
area
Dunkin'
A,
Donuts.
lot 18, in addition to Logan County, Oklahoma, is hereby approved and the dedications shown herein.
I'm already.
Hereon
half
are
over
hereby
Missy's Donut
approved all
Shop.
streets within the addition are private streets and shall be owned and maintained by the Property Owners Association and are not maintained by Logan County.
I'll move we approve the plan.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the change to the landing at Waterloo. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now, I've got two housing additions in District 1 that are called the Landing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Well, maybe that's why.
There's one up by Highway 74 and 33. That is-
Okay.
that's right. It's just off, there's a section that they're developing over there. It's right off the highway.
Oh.
Pretty cool. And then you guys down there on the other side, clear down south.
Yeah. Now, Troy, I took these back over there, right? I can't remember the order. I messed up that one day.
Leave here and go straight across the
Yes,
street
I'll
to
do that.
record, and then you'll take these and go get the small ones.
Yes, I just want to make sure I had it in my head that seems to forget as I get older. I don't know. It's not written down sometimes.
New person coming in, it's not golden corral.
No. Whatever happened to them? Were they even around?
Oh, yeah, there's a few in the city. There's one in Midwest City.
Okay.
And
Well, good luck. Hope this one works for you.
Yeah, that was an expensive change, so I don't need any more of those. Yeah. This thing's starting to cost us.
What changed?
With the road change.
Oh, yeah.
For ODOT.
for ODOT.
Yes, they're good at that.
In preparation for them, they still haven't done anything like condemnation.
You expect them to actually do something?
It's only been since 2019, man.
I'm sorry, I'm getting short.
Yeah, but, you know, it happens when you don't want it to happen.
You ever seen how long it takes for 235? When they'll ever finish that. That's been an ongoing deal for years.
Thank you, guys.
You're
All right,
ready for
you're so welcome.
the
Thank you.
next step.
I'll have it done today.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Item 6, consideration and possible action on accepting applications of Thomas L. and Janet S. Hudson for the establishment of private cemetery and appoint investigator examiner of application and approved date to hold a public hearing authorizing notice by publication. I don't know what any of that's meant, but I read it.
And I sent out emails about it. So
I know.
the last one we did of these was in 2013, so it's not like they're done often. The Hudsons have submitted an application to establish a private family cemetery on their property west of Guthrie. And to do that is contained in Oklahoma statutes Title 8. There's also in Title 50. They start by supplying an application detailing what it is they want to do. They are responsible for paying all costs to make this happen, as long as it doesn't exceed $500. I have their $500 check. Typically, that's the publication notices. So today, we have the application. You have to appoint an examiner or investigator. That's the statutory word. I would volunteer since I'm already knee deep in it. We have to hold a public hearing.
Okay.
And set that date. We have to publish it. Their fees cover the publication costs. We have the public hearing. If everything is up to snuff on that, then you guys can approve the formation of the cemetery. I sent you out the notes from conversation with Lowell on a couple of things that need to be done for this application.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Gentlemen, I talked with Tom and about this just about a month ago. And I understand what he wants to do. Same thing that Guthrie Martin did out at Cedar Valley. You know, they had a cemetery put in out there. I got no problem with what their family wants to do, you know, and maintain that in perpetuity. I support it. So we're not here to approve or disapprove now. We're just here to start the process. I just wanted to kick that down the road and
I'll make a motion to accept the application.
I'll second.
I need you to appoint
Yeah,
a person
so,
with that.
and so, so I think we had two volunteers, one was Steve.
I think you were can.
And the other one was Troy, but I think Troy would be a good.
Most qualified. Does that need to be in the original motion?
It does, yes, it does.
Need to make, okay, so I'll retract my original motion.
It's gonna be 3 parts. So you're gonna accept the application, you need to appoint the examiner, and then we have to authorize the notice of publication of the public hearing.
Is that your motion, Tony?
That is my motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to do what you said.
Let's cut through this.
I'll make it work.
Any further, I need to, so I got a motion and a second on that. So any further discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right.
I will reach out to Mr. Hudson.
Okay. Thank you very much. Item 7, consideration of possible action on resolution establishing a two-way stop at the intersection of County Road 74 and May Avenue. Monty?
Yeah, I got some people that don't want to slow down through that intersection, so we decided to make it a two-way stop. So it's not a very good intersection, and they're just blowing right through it. So.
All right. And you got some deputies on part-time up there that can put you out there?
Yeah.
We'll work it out.
We got a sheriff that's doing a great job. So
I heard that rumor.
He did a great job yesterday for us, so we appreciate him.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Yes.
It's an honor.
Thank you.
So with that being said, I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution.
I'll second.
All right, have a motion to second to establish a two-way stop at the intersection of CR 74 and May Avenue. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 8, consideration and possible action on detention transportation claim for June 2022 in the amount of $854.12.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item 9, consideration and possible action on FY 22-23 inspection services agreement with Summit Fire and Security in the amount of $370 for kitchen suppression system for the jail.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the fire suppression at the jail. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Zach, is that gonna work over there?
Huh. I don't know. Must be
It's probably a part-time job.
I don't know how he has the time for a part-time job. Like he's pretty wrapped up.
Okay, item 10, consideration possible action on contract with Mulhall Orlando School District for school resource officer for the period of July 1, 2022 through May 12 of 2023. Want to say anything about this, Sheriff? Or
This is just continuing the partnership with Mall Schools, providing an SR officer to both of those locations. And I think it's a viable need and a great partnership that we continue.
Yep, I agree.
Hey, Damon, that's just one officer though for both?
Correct.
Okay. I move that we approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the resource officer at Mulhall Orlando. Any further discussion?
And I'd just like to thank Damon for providing that service and willing to contract with the schools. I think it's great.
Yep.
Yes.
Good job, sir. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Not gonna whack his tail no more.
I'm kind of concerned about it. I don't know what you want.
It's not like
We'll let Monty be chairperson on this one.
And I didn't even see that.
I don't care. I'd rather Monty be chairperson anyway. All right, item 11, consideration and possible action to acknowledge receipt of notice of tort claim of Austin Cook and forward to ACO County claims. What do we got here? A pothole on industrial. Oh boy, that's a surprise.
Was it industrial or was that? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was industrial. That was the one right there just past the bridge.
Between Midwest and Pine?
On the east side of I-35. Yeah. West side's
The
pretty
claim
straight.
identified it as District 3, but after further review, it's on the line to the east into District 2.
Wouldn't that make it District 4?
It kind of hurt me. I thought I had a pothole.
I can't believe she's accusing me of that.
I don't know. Are you kidding?
All right, so
I'll move to acknowledge and send it forward.
I'll
I
second.
have a motion and a second to acknowledge and send forward any further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, item 12, consideration and possible action on approving the following permanent road crossing permits. Oklahoma Natural Gas and Cox Communication LLC. Natural gas cross Waterloo Road, half a mile north of State Highway 66 and I-35 junction. Cox Communication cross Santa Fe, 3.96 miles east of State Highway 74 and west of the southeast section of 2515 North 3 West. I don't have a clue where that's at, but I'm sure somebody does.
Santa Fe and 74.
District 3.
Yes, thank you.
I'll move that we approve.
Okay. We'll have a motion and a second to approve the permanent road crossing permits. Anything? Okay, further discussion?
I have none.
None.
Okay, let's see, I called for for that, Monty seconded, right?
Yes.
Monty, did you
Monty
second?
moved, you
Monty
seconded.
moved, you
Monty
seconded.
moved, I seconded. Okay, yeah. All right, so any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes unanimously. Item 13, consideration and possible action to approve resolution appointing requisitioning officers for various accounts.
So, part of that cemetery application is we have to create a new fund and sub-account for that money. So I have a requisitioning resolution. Chairman, I listed as you and me just so I can pay those publication costs when they came in.
Okay.
That account will go to zero after this is all done because we refund any unused balance.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll move we approve.
And then I have one for the extension office for their new interim director.
I'll second.
So is that a motion on both of those?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve requisitioning officers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So is the new intern coming up quite a bit? Or
I've met him the one time. I think everything's kind of getting in the lined out and moved ahead.
awesome.
So on this one, I need you to sign here, here, and here.
What am I signing?
This is the requisition for that cemetery.
Oh.
Like a doctor's office, here, 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 here.
I feel like Radar O'Reilly sometimes. Actually, she's
I was just gonna say, I think we might have that. Just-
Yeah, I know.
I see these with Mark.
Well, thank you. So here, three places.
For you, yeah. Cynthia was radar, that's what Monty always called her.
Yeah.
Cynthia's a nice lady.
Okay, where are we at? 14?
Yes?
All right, item 14, consideration of possible action to approve resolution appointing receiving officers for various accounts.
So I have one for the health department and for the election board.
I'll move to approve.
I will second. Motion and a second to approve appointing, was that receiving officers? Yes, for the election board and health board. All right. So with that, any further discussion? Have a motion and a second.
None?
No motion, no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right, item 15, consideration of possible action on consent agenda.
Payroll.
This is the fun part. Bless you.
Thank you.
Announcement for the speaking. Okay.
I'll put that in the minutes.
Randy,
You wanna talk?
do you, no, do you remember, about a year ago when we hit the gas main out there on that road?
No.
Okay. We did. There's only road about that deep, right in the middle of the road. And they wanted us to pay for it. I was just wondering if you knew about that, if you were close to it somewhere.
I love the speed bump, and I've got a great collection of hubcaps, but I'd like to get it fixed.
We'll see what we do.
I appreciate it. It slows them down, I promise you.
That's what, that's the main complaint we get when we pave a road.
Yeah, speeding up.
Yeah, the speed goes up when we do that.
Oh, I don't want it paved, I just want it flat.
Can I get that in Rip Friday?
My neighbors might argue with me.
They do. Yes.
I've heard. That's why I didn't invite them down.
Well, I appreciate keeping it civil, sir. I appreciate keeping it civil. Bobby, what brings you out and about today?
Weather. Wonderful weather we're having.
I see.
Transfers.
And got donuts.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, that was kind of an instruction thing.
Yeah,
Don't show
it's
up.
coming out here, better get some donuts.
Don't be showing up with that donuts. Why haven't you been showing up? Those, yeah.
Are you hungry?
No, no, I was just curious. You know, I hadn't seen you in a while, and
Did AT&T show up?
yeah, sort of, kind of. They allowed how they would get out there and look at it, and if it was going to be too much trouble, they would just let us tear it up.
Does that resolve your issue?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it does. Yes. Now that we know, now that Mr. Hudson knows that he's not going to get sued for getting into the telephone thing, yeah.
Okay, good.
That's what we were trying to prevent.
Blanket.
Glad I could be of help.
Sir?
Glad I could be of help.
Me too, yeah, thank you.
You might remind Aaron, I sent him
Election
an
claim.
email on Friday. I might have forgotten it. Next time you see him, kind of stir him a little bit.
Well, I'm trying to stir him right now.
Was it time to get a raise?
No hurry, just today or tomorrow.
Alcoholic beverage tax.
Before,
Right.
before the weekend.
Drum roll, Chris.
What's that?
Alcohol beverage
Oh.
tax.
August, June, 23.4.
Ooh, missed it by $3,000. 26.2.
We might hit 30,000 next month.
Ponds are turning over.
Yeah. Alcohol tax always goes up when the ponds turn over.
That's it for consent.
All right.
I'll make a motion on the consent agenda items.
Langston had almost $3,000 of that.
What's Meridian?
Oh, Meridian, $24.
I will second the motion. Any further discussion on consent? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
What's Crescent?
Motion passes.
Crest of Oklahoma is 2250, 27. You can tell school's back in at Langston.
Wait a minute. There's a liquor store at Crescent too. And that's $24 is all these?
No, that was Meridian.
Oh,
It was
okay.
$24.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
2,200 was Lake Coast Crescent.
All right, never mind. Different deal. All right. Item 15, consideration of possible action on claims for payment for August 2022.
There's a liquor store and 2 bars, isn't there?
Oh, liquor store. No bar in town, but I'm on.
Yeah, the VFW's right outside.
I'll make a motion, we pay the claims.
I will second.
Well, might want to look at them first. But, hey, I'll entertain anything you want to do. You want to approve them first? We need to know.
I bet you we approve them one way or the other.
I'm approved. Did I miss one?
No, I was just that far behind. I was reading that one past one.
Are you supposed to read this stuff?
Some of them I do.
This general's out of control. I'm not saying nothing. There, come back to bite you. There we go. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. We got all day to do this.
Let's see if we picked up the pace here. So my staff, we need to catch up.
You can't be dogging behind these other ones.
I don't know if we had to do it all in one day. For a while ago.
Okay, I will second that motion. So I've got a motion and a second now. Any further discussion?
Well, I'd say we caught up, so. I have no discussion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
I was the lone wolf.
Item 16, consideration and possible action on purchase card payments for August 2022. In the amount of $7,072.04. There's a few things we bought, phone cords, minor stuff. What else we got on here?
I should have one.
Dual slide ID card printer.
I'm not sure.
The printer that we've been using for the employee IDs in the sheriff's quick card certifications died.
It went south, went toes up.
Yes, sir. We bought the clean kit for it, and
Let's see.
it's just,
Battery backups. So, you guys look at these and pass it back this way when you get finished. Once we start approving that, then I'll sign it, give it back to the clerk, and we can go on with a paperless meeting after this. Okay. So did we vote on that?
Yeah, he moved on.
Yeah.
Second.
I'll make we voted.
We didn't vote yet.
That's what I understand. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. All right, item 17, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners or other county officers and department heads. Chris?
No, sir.
Like Bobby, he's actually a department, yeah, he's a county officer. He just doesn't fess up to it sometimes.
It's on the keyboard.
Yes, all that.
E-board.
Next.
That's not what.
Steven?
I'll be gone the middle of September for a few days for a flood manager annual training I'm required to go to every year.
Right.
So,
I understand that our past emergency manager probably didn't keep up with the paperwork that he was supposed to do, and now we're out some money that we're supposed to recover. What's up with that?
yeah, working on trying to figure out management cost on the 2019 flooding for the county to get reimbursed back on that. Trying to get documentation together and get a hold of some people to see if we can come up with some numbers to get something back instead of claim zero.
Right.
Yeah.
But in his defense, he was instructed that we didn't need to keep track of that one certain item.
That's what I've heard, is that whenever he was working on that disaster, that they told him that he was automatically gonna get, the county was automatically gonna get 10% of the disaster back. And then at the very end of it, whenever he was turning it all in, they said, no, now you need documentation. So,
Okay. Under that scenario, I want to know the names of those people.
I'll have to find out. I don't know at the top of my head.
I'm just saying, if somebody told him
Yeah.
that he didn't have to do that,
Right.
I want to know who that somebody is at the
Right.
state. That then changed their mind, that somebody back in the state then changed their mind, changed the rules and said, now you got to come up with this in order to get paid, and we've got no way to do it. That doesn't make sense to me at all. And I mean, we've had other issues where, like, the state auditor has come in and written us up for our emergency management stuff because nothing got done on it. I'm not saying that that's the same as this, but there seems to be a pattern there. I'd like to get it fixed.
Well, I'm certainly ain't gonna sit here and bash David Ball for what he did for us. So
Right.
I believe anything David Ball tells me.
So, the only reason, all this stuff happened before I, took over, and so I got an email from the state, because they said we hadn't turned in anything, and so.
Can I ask a question? That last FEMA money we got, I thought included administrative costs.
That was for the October one. For the October ice
I don't
storm.
know
Okay.
anything
Different
about that.
disaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
so.
All right, sir. Sheriff, anything from you, sir?
No, sir.
All right.
Nope, nope.
Thank you. Ma'am?
No.
All right, Monty?
I do. I went down to an ACOG meeting to a grant program workshop deal, and the big topic down there was they had $22 million that we need to hurry up and get spent. The bad part is it's for walking trails and bicycles and then probably a 30 or 40 minute conversation on these counters you can buy for $10,000 to count the people that's walking down the trails, and we can't get funding for roads. And then you go outside the door and people sitting out there begging for money because they can't eat. We're going to spend $22 million on bicycle and walking trails. But ODOT was there and they said that they got some funding for bridges. Logan County, I got a list of, we got 8 bridges on this list that might get funding for just repairs for scour and different types of things. In District 1, circle number 157 is on the list. District 2, 226A is on the list.
What's that?
226A. And the other 6 is in District 3. So that's all I got. It'd make you sick that we're gonna spend 22 million bucks on
Walking trails.
walking trails and bicycle trails.
Oh, well, I've already been sick on that. That's when I quit going to those meetings.
That's all I got.
Do you have something to say?
That scouring list you mentioned, is that the scour program, have they already determined that list of bridges on the list?
There are 600 bridges on that list. There's 8 in Logan County. But
So they already have the list generated
they have the
at this
list,
time?
yes.
And I understand that's not gonna kick in until probably in January sometime or something, when they contact you if you want those done?
And just because you're on a list don't mean it's gonna get funded.
Correct.
So I called to get on the list and make sure that we get funded, and ODOT's gonna do it all, so.
Yes, my understanding, just a little on it, that I know about on that, is that program is initiated, but the department handling that program has not developed fully yet. So you're looking at after the first of the year before that it'll start happening. And they'll contact you to see if you want those bridges that are on that list done.
Certainly want it done. I mean, if
Yeah.
there's fishing on our bridges, I mean, we wanna fix it. So.
Right.
I mean, we've got, what, over 200 efficient bridges and
But the only other thing I got is, you know, we sent in a tort claim on the health department, and Troy sent out a estimated cost on that. So the deductible will be completely wiped out. So just had to, that's all I got.
Cool. That's not me.
that's me this time.
Okay, so along those lines, Shelley Williams and I had talked about different stuff on, you know, SERB and some other things about a month and a half ago, maybe a little longer. And one of the things, a couple of things that we talked about was bridges. And she was going to look into that. The other one that you just brought up, and that I was not very happy with, the ACOG, back when I was making those meetings, was when they decided to go back and change the rating on projects. And if you didn't have a bicycle path or a cart trail or a walking trail, a sidewalk next to your road, you didn't get enough points to pass.
Right.
You didn't get enough points for your project to get money from the Fed.
Right.
And so when they changed that, it opened it up only to cities who have full-time engineers who can go through and re-engineer everything on a moment's notice for ACOG. Because once you get it engineered for walking trails and bicycle paths and all that stuff, there's not hardly a way you can get taken off that project list.
Yeah.
Once you do that. We don't have any, but yet. So we've got one bridge that just got put on the new SERB plan, and that's the one there on Simmons between Kelly and Broadway. And what I recommend is when that gets engineered, that we do it with bicycle paths on each side and walking trails on each side.
They would raise your rating.
Yeah, so
Well, you gotta be in the zone as well. I mean, the metropolitan area, you know,
Right.
and none of my district really touches that.
yeah, no, you get hosed on that deal real hard.
So,
Yeah, but even being in the zone, it still makes it difficult for the rural areas to get funding to basically build these roads to their status.
well, you know, they put out that they got $22 million for a project, so you go to these meetings, then I gotta come back and tell people, well, it's for walking trails and bicycles.
Right.
And sorry that you got big potholes in the room.
Right.
It went from like a $6 million program, TAP program, to 22.
Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure on 22 million. I mean, I was steaming about it. It was 22 plus.
Right.
But anyway, kind of aggravating really when we're trying to get roads and bridges.
So anyway, Shelley told me that she was sympathetic to rural counties in this problem with ACOG and all the other COGs, where they spend all the federal money, all the federal funds go to municipalities that are in those, and that's all. I mean, we don't get anything. Last thing we got, I said last thing that small counties got out of ACOG was that last mile of Waterloo Road, the last 2 miles of Waterloo Road. So we got about $990,000 because that's what was left over and nobody else wanted to apply for it.
But I was glad to hear about the bridge program, and hopefully we'll get all 8 in Logan County funded, but I wouldn't count on it.
Can I ask a question as a citizen? on
Yes,
that?
sir.
So who do I, as a citizen, need to call at the federal level to start moving money this way?
Well, it's, I mean, federal level,
Or what do I need to do?
yeah.
Is that a bigger question that we can't answer right now?
Well, so
One of the many hands in the pot.
Yeah.
the problem we have is we've got so many quasi-government organizations that get involved in these things, and when you've got an organization of governments that all the mayors and county commissioners in an area get together and talk about how to split up money, it hardly ever goes to where it's fair to the people. Hardly ever. The ACOG group in Oklahoma City is dedicated to fixing the roads and bridges and streets in Oklahoma City, in Oklahoma County. That's it.
Cleveland County.
Committee.
Yeah, sort of.
Their
Yeah, sort
structures
of.
panned out, Yukon, Norman,
Mustang.
Mustang,
But
Midwest.
nothing for rural roads and counties
Until Edmond moves north, right?
no, they're not gonna do that either, because they would have to adopt part of Logan County in their city limits, and they're not gonna do that either, because now they gotta maintain the streets.
Makes sense.
And a sewer system, and a water system. And so. that's
Fair enough.
not
Thank you.
gonna
I apologize.
work. No apology. All right, anything else, Mark?
I think I stirred up a
No, you didn't say, sir.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Okay. That's all I have. Item 18, consideration of possible action on adjournment.
I'll move with adjourn.
I'll second.
Have motion and second to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.